I have Swiss Army knives with different metal scales. I have Swiss Army knives with different plastic scales. I have Swiss Army knives with different wood scales, but it is also possible to craft Swiss Army knife scales from normal stones. So in this video I will try to craft Swiss Army knife scales with simple hand tools from normal stones like this or this. So stay tuned if this sounds interesting for you. Hello YouTube! Welcome to another Swiss Army knife workshop video. In this series I show you maintenance and customization tricks for your Swiss Army knife. And as you already saw in the intro, today I will try to craft Swiss Army knife scales from normal stones. And I will try to do that with as simple tools as possible, that every one of you can try to make his own stone scales. I have some experience with stone grinding because about 15 years ago I bought this stone grinding machine, but for this project I tried to use much simpler tools. This is the first time that I craft Swiss Army knife scales out of stones. That's why I have to figure out first by myself how it works. And now imagine how cool that would be, how cool you could personalize your knife if you are able to make your own Swiss Army knife scales from a stone with a special history for you, or with a stone you like visually, or with a stone from your area. So I really like this idea, that's why I would say, let's start. The stone I choose for this project has indeed a very deep and emotional meaning to me, because I found this stone together with a friend of mine who sadly passed away some years ago, and a Swiss Army knife with scales from this stone would be a wonderful memory. So I found this stone about 100 kilometers outside from here in a little creek, and the name of the creek is Nolla. That's why this slate stone calls Nolla slate, or in German Nolla Schiefer. The special thing on this stone is that we have little pyrite inclusions in this stone. Can you see that? So, and this is the reason why I want to try to make some Swiss Army knife scales with this stone. So first step is to cut down two thin slices of the stone. And this is, I would say, a difficult step. Actually I planned to do that with the angle grinder, but outside it's already dark and I don't want to make this such a terrible mess in my workshop. That's why I changed to this ceramic cutter. So I have the feeling that it would work better with this one, but with the ceramic cutter it makes less mess, at least I hope so. So that's why I try to do that with this machine. But at the end of the day, it's actually the same. So let's go. The first slice is cut away. Now I try to flatten this part. And I will try to do that first. With this diamond disc. This one is super cheap, $5 or something like this. Now I try to flatten the surface on this diamond stone. If you don't have a diamond stone, you can also try it with normal sandpaper. But look at this, that works quite well. So I would say it's flat enough for the second cut. So now I have what I actually wanted, 2 slices with a rough side and a fine side. And now on the fine side I draw in the shape of the scale. And now I try to cut it out a little bit closer to the end size. So now I try to grind to the finished concha with the cheap diamond disc. After the work with the angle grinder, I flatten the second side on this diamond pad until I have a thickness from 5 mm. So I'm not far away from 5 mm now, but now I grind it down, make it flat until I have 5 mm exactly. So now both sides are flat and the thickness is a little bit less than 5 mm. Let's do the same with the second scale. So now this is done. Both sides are flat, not polished, but flat. And I have a thickness from a little bit less than 5 mm. Super cool. Next step is to draw in the shape and to cut out the shape exactly. And I will do that again with this disc. So let's go. So next step is to cut out the corner for a corkscrew or Phillips screwdriver, and I will do that with my micro drill and a little diamond disc and with some diamond files. The next step is to transfer the position of the holes for the rivet heads on the stone scales. And for that I drill through these holes. And you have to do that from the inside, that's why you can change like this. Now it works. So now I check if that can be. Yes, that's perfect, and this is also perfect. So now I will do these holes with these diamond micro drills. I will see which one works the best. First side is done. Now I make the second side. So now the scales fits perfect. So what I have to do now is to make a chamfer here on the edge and to polish the surface. And for that I have from a knife grinder 3 diamond plates. These are super cheap ones from China. This is 320, 600 and 1200. And like this, I try now to polish the scales. So my friends, here are the scales. I need more than 1 hour to do that. And now I will polish it with 4000 grit sandpaper. So now my stone scales are done. I polished so long, so my skin was starting to peel. But now it's enough. So last step is to glue them on the knife body. I don't have the perfect glue, but I take what I have. So that's why I start here on this side. So the gluing process was not as easy as I expected. Maybe I used too much glue. So as soon I pressed together the scales with the knife body, the glue squeezed out of all the gaps. And now I had a lot to do to clean the knife. So, and this is the end result. Look at this beauty. Sadly, I got a little crack. This happened as I clamped the knife into the vise for drying the glue. This is so stupid, but doesn't matter. I really like this knife. I really like this knife. And the emotional value rised from almost 0 to 100. So my friends, I hope I was able to inspire you to craft the Swiss Army knife scale out of a stone. You don't need necessarily professional tools. You can also do it with simple tools. And don't make the same mistake as me with the vise for drying the glue. So this was the last video in this year, and thank you so much for your fantastic support during this year. I will be back next February. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a fantastic start into the year 2026. See you and ciao!